and spotty drizzle late, low 45. Tomorrow starts out with clouds and spotty drizzle. The rest of the day mainly gray but mild with a high near 60. Cloudy tomorrow night, a couple of showers in the evening and steadier rain and thunder late, low near 50. Monday, cloudy and breezy with a couple of showers, high 56. I'm meteorologist Frank Strait for FM News Talk 97.1.
When our infant son Liam needed a new heart, we turned to the SLU Care Transplant Specialist at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. After months of waiting, he received a transplant on Christmas Day.
My match is my hero. He saved my life.
Today, Liam is stronger, happier, and healthier. Learn how organ donation can save lives. Visit cardinalglennon.com/transplant.
My husband Josh was born battling kidney disease and struggled on dialysis for years. With the help of SLU Care Transplant Specialists at SSM Health St. Louis University Hospital, I discovered I was a match and could donate.
My match is my hero. She's also my wife.
Today, we're happy, healthy, and expecting our first baby. Learn how living kidney donation can save lives. Visit ssmhealth.com/transplant.
I don't know about you, but I like having a clean car. Hey everybody, it's Mark Close, and taking care of me and my car is Rain Tunnel Express Car Wash. They have locations on both sides of the river. They're in and out 4 or 5 minutes. Your car is going to come out looking great. And by the way, and I get it, there's some great car washes around that'll run you upwards of $15 to $20. At Rain Tunnel Express, $6. That's right, $6. The car comes out looking great. You just ride right through the tunnel with it. The tires, the wheels look good. It dries. All the spots go away. They got great friendly kids working there. Real clean facility for $6. Now, if you buy the Money Saver card, it will lower the price of that car wash down to $5. You can afford to get your car washed every week for $5. It is the automaker's recommended wash. There's no brushes, only cloth, no scratching, coming out looking great. Rain Tunnel Express. For more info, please go to raintunnelexpress.com.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
Keeping you informed and up to date.
We all know what the president has said. He wants a shutdown.
The president doesn't want to shut down.
My Democratic colleagues would want to shut down the government over illegal immigration.
The news and talk station for St. Louis.
Republicans and Democrats
pointing the finger at each other.
This has turned into a S show. Washington melodrama.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Only you, quite frankly, Mr. President, can fix this problem because you have credibility. Others.
Younger, smarter,
don't.
Better.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
Moose out front should have told you. Did you hear the moose out front? Did it tell you that we were shut down? What do you call a bunch of mooses? Meese? Moose? Moose? There are 3 moose over there. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Frank says moose. That there is one moose and there are 3 moose. I believe you, I guess. Yeah, that's good. Thanks. So the government shut down. We couldn't get our act together in time to get a continuing resolution passed or a budget passed or a DACA deal passed. And now we have a government shutdown and we're all waiting for the sky to fall. What are some things that happen when the government shuts down? Well, I'll tell you one. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, one of my favorite women of all time on Women's March Day. She got a tweet from some folks overseas. There's some football games on tomorrow, right? Something of some type of relevance to some people not in St. Louis. Well, unless you were rooting against the Rams and they lost. So the network that sends these games out across seas to show them to our troops, yeah, they don't get to see them because the government is shut down. The network is shut down, and our service people cannot watch football while they're not defending our freedom. That's what is important to Dick Durbin, my senator, the fine senator from the fine state of Illinois. Dick Durbin has one priority in mind. Frank, can we get to cut 1 here? This is what Dick Durbin said earlier this week, and this is all that you need to know about this government shutdown.
I know what happened. I stand behind every word that I said. In terms of that meeting, I'm focused on one thing, not that meeting, but on making sure that those who are being protected by DACA and eligible for the DREAM Act have a future in America. I'm focused on that full time.
I'm focused on that full time. He's focused on one thing, folks. Dick Durbin here, speaking for the Democrats, speaking in lockstep with Chuck Schumer. The one thing that he is focused on, my senator, the man who represents me in the United States Senator, is focused on one thing and one thing only. And what is that thing? It's the people who are here illegally, who he wants to protect through some sort of legislation, some sort of action on DACA. DACA is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. DACA is the program that Barack Obama created through an executive order. And what DACA did is it said, hey, this finite group of people, you have to be upstanding contributors to society. You can't be a criminal. You can't have a record. You have to have a GED or be in school or be in the military, a list of these things. And you have to have been brought here as a child and been here consistently since then. So it is a finite group of people. And they say the number somewhere around 800,000. So these are the folks that are here. We do have to address them. We do have to pay attention to the fact that they're in this country, the fact that we don't know currently what to do with them, and they are afraid that they're going to be shipped out. This is a real issue. But Senator Durbin, you shut down the government. You said that those people are more important than the American citizens living in your state in Illinois and the collective that you represent in the United States Senate, which is the people who put you there. American citizens, the people who are here, are the people who need to be your priority. And if you diminish that, if you do not respect that, we will not be able to provide the type of freedom, the type of liberty, and the type of generosity that you can only get from an American society. We will not be able to give that to these people. Hillary Clinton famously said when she was running for president that she dreams of a hemisphere without borders. She dreams of a hemisphere where we don't need to be separated by these lines that confine one person to their place and another to their own. Why do you put a fence up in your backyard? Do you do it for privacy? Do you do it so that you understand where one neighbor's responsibility starts and another person's responsibility ends? Offense doesn't mean that you hate your neighbor. Offense doesn't imply that you don't ever want to see your neighbor, or that if they're sick or if they need help that you wouldn't lend help to your neighbor. Offense isn't a barrier to define where your compassion ends and where your hate begins. That's ridiculous. It defines your responsibilities from your neighbor's responsibilities. And in the event that we stop respecting these backyard fences and these side yard fences, how does that work? How does that work in your neighborhood? It wouldn't work. We're creating in this country, under President Trump, a definition of what America is, what they stand for, and what they don't. The number one thing that we need to do as a collective society is secure our defense. The number one thing we need to do is make sure that the Americans feel absolutely safe within their own country, protected from the people who hate us, protected from the people who want to hurt us, who want to destroy us. And if we can't do that, if we can't do that confidently, what can we do? And we are now in a position where Senator Dick Durbin says that his number one priority, his number one focus, without fail, is these DACA kids. Let's hear Dick Durbin say this one more time, just so you can fully soak in what he is saying to you, a voter. This is what the Democrats stand for.
I know what happened. I stand behind every word that I said in terms of that meeting. I'm focused on one thing, not that meeting, but on making sure that those who are being protected by DACA and eligible for the DREAM Act have a future in America. I'm focused on that full time.
Focus on the folks here. Focus on funding this government, funding this massive governmental structure that many people rely on for the own food that they can put on their own tables or the diapers they can put on their babies' bottoms. That's what you need to focus on. Yes, we want to extend our charity. Yes, we want to extend our gracious attitude towards the rest of the world. But being cognizant of our own country and taking care of our own business first is the only way that we can ever extend that to the rest of the world. I don't know what DACA is going to result in. I don't know what deal the Republicans are willing to make. I don't know if there's going to be an extension of DACA or if there's going to end up being a get all the, family vans in the country, round up these people and ship them across the border. I don't want to see that happen. I don't think that's what's best for this country. I think that this massive federal government that is who's hanging the carrot right over the border on the south and luring these people in with full knowledge that they are not going to send them home in the hopes for some political advantage at the end, that is deplorable. That is disgusting. To use these people, to put these people in a position where you lure them across the border in hopes that they actually believe that you'll set them up down the line. Just like the inner cities in this country. Just enough, give them just enough so they feel like they can't get out of the system because it's too difficult to leave it, and they get just barely enough to stay in it. And you'll create voters. I'd like to see the Republicans come up with a way to provide some type of avenue where these people can stay in this country. They can feel as though they don't have to live in fear, but they still understand that they don't get the full benefits of citizenship, that they don't get to jump the line where other people are in the middle of this very lengthy and arduous process. Because guess what? When you come to the United States, you have to respect the laws of the land. You have to respect the system as it is set up. You want to be here, right? You want to be a part of this great experiment in freedom? wonderful. We want to have you. We want you here. Here are the rules. And the reason why I would extend that olive branch to this group of DACA people, I hesitate to use the word kids because some of them are my age. The reason I hesitate to do that is because they didn't come here on their own. That doesn't mean that they're here legally, but there has to be a compromise that can be reached. If Republicans could come up with something that could take the fear out of these folks and allow them to contribute to society in the same capacity that we do, pay the same taxes, have the same personal responsibility that we have, and make sure that they are fully respectful for that. It's basically like putting them on parole. You did something, now you need to assimilate into society, and you need to figure out how you can be a contributing, upstanding citizen. But at the end, you might still have a record. At the end, your record might still say that you came here illegally. You might not have the full same benefits as somebody who worked through the system, who did what they were supposed to do, and gained citizenship the old-fashioned way. Don't let anyone tell you that there isn't a pathway to citizenship for any of these people, because there is. It's hard, and it's lengthy, and it would require them to get to the back of the line, but the path to citizenship does exist. It just might not be favorable to these people. But there is a deal to be cut there. But Senator Durbin says that his priority is these kids over you sitting in your car going from point A to point B, trying to mind your own business, live your own life in this country where you contribute, you make a little money, you spend it on yourself to better your life, to be responsible, and to contribute in whatever capacity you can without having to ask for anything from anyone else. You're not his priority. And we know this because he said it. If you want to weigh in on this conversation, I'd love to hear from you. 314-969-9797 or call us at 866-455-9797. We're streaming this first segment of the Annie Frey Show right now live on a Facebook Live on our Facebook page. You can go to the Annie Frey Show on Facebook and go there. Got some comments running here. I appreciate you watching there as well. I'm going to take some quick phone calls here. Butch, thank you so much for calling the Annie Frey Show.
How you doing this evening?
Doing fine, thanks.
I wanted to comment on what you said about, being able to keep out the people that want to hurt us and want to kill us and destroy our way of life. Well, how are we going to do that? Because liberals are already here.
Well, I see what you're saying here. I don't necessarily think that all liberals are like this. I think that in a lot of ways, being liberal is unfortunate because the intentions are good. Think about your favorite lovable liberal. They want to help people. They want to do nice things for people. They want to make society better for people. The problem is that there's a space between that thought and reality where you can just magically make that happen. Because I promise you, if it was possible, President Obama would have done that. Rich, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show.
Thank you, Annie. I think the DACA kids absolutely have to be expelled.
You want them rounded up and shipped out?
I absolutely do, and because for no other reason than the fact that there'll be 3 or 4 people attached to them, parents, grandparents, and so forth. Which even if the number is 800,000, which you can dispute, and it could be 1 or 2 million, you're talking 3, 4, or 5 million people, and we don't know if that's even accurate. So we can't keep them and then not keep their parents.
Yeah, Rich, there has to be a lot, I'm not in favor of that, but I understand you and a lot of other folks are. There has to be a lot of parameter that would be involved in any type of extension, and I'm not necesserily for citizenship for these people. There's a difference between giving citizenship and allowing them to stay.
I can understand that path, but I understand what you're saying, that there'd be a pathway to citizenship and maybe they wouldn't have a vote for 10 years. I understand everything you said.
Mm-hmm.
But the priority is not kids who were brought here illegally because their parents disrespect our culture, which is absolutely true. Our priority is our veterans, our elderly, our children, not the 100 million people who come here, 55 million illegally, approximately another 50 million attached to them, chain migration. That is not our priority.
Yeah.
They need to be expelled, and the nations of origins from which they came should pay us not just reparations for the crimes and tax burden that we incurred as American taxpayers,
yeah,
but also for opportunities lost to Native people in this country. And I don't mean Native Indians, I mean Native-born Americans. So they should pay us double. And once we start finding these countries, whether it's Nigeria or Haiti or Mexico or Norway, it doesn't matter, or the Irish are overstaying now, they should be fined, or government should pay, and the penalty should be passed on to those people. This is a country for us. It's not a country for half of Central America.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rich. I appreciate it. I've got a full board here. Nick, Linda, LT, the other folks calling in right now. I'm going to get to your phone calls as soon as we can. Have you heard of hashtag release the memo? It's a big deal. Nunes's memo depends on who you talk to. Some people say it's GOP, blah, 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 talking points, fabricated, disillusioned, whatever. But I'm going to talk to Congressman Shimkus later on in this hour about the shutdown and about that. And, you know, there's just so much to talk about. At Annie Fry Show over the break, Facebook.com/Annie Fry Show right now on the Facebook Live. We'll be back in just a minute.
You will kiss my lips, now shut up and let me go. Your jeans were once so clean, I bet you changed your wardrobe since we met. Now oh so easily, you offer me one is love. It's you that ought to be holding.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now. 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797.
Shut up and let me go. Hey!
Dependable weather.
Clouds take control today. Chance of a couple of spotty
with Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray.
Brought to you by Air Comfort Service. No heat, furnace acting up, high utility bills. Get 0% financing on a new furnace. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
I've told you about the Diamond Shop in Clayton for a while now, and I'm telling you right now, I was just there this week, and they have the most amazing jewelry right now available for you. And there's a ton of stuff that's under $500. Valentine's Day is coming up right now. And here's what I'm telling you. It's a girl talking to you right now, has a little experience, been married for 10 years. You want to buy and send a bouquet of flowers. What does that cost? $50, $80, depending on how fancy you get? There's stuff in the Diamond Shop, beautiful, beautiful jewelry that you can get that is less than that. I've seen it with my own eyes. If you're watching the Facebook Live right now on the Annie Fry Show, you can see the necklace I got for within that price range. I picked it out myself. It's beautiful. It's rose gold, and I love it. Get something special that's going to last, that at the end of the process, you don't have a vase and you're like, okay, I'll put this with all my other vases. Give them something beautiful. It comes in a gorgeous little red bag, and they can finance stuff in there. Everything's half off right now. 50% off. If you're thinking about getting engaged, if you're thinking about popping the question, go see Mona and Tom and the rest of the folks at the Diamond Shop in Clayton, or visit thediamondshop.net.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Not long ago, we celebrated our 25th anniversary as a firm dedicated to, as many of you have heard, helping guys through one of the most difficult and crucial times in their lives. Starting out in 1990, my wife and I didn't realize that our mission would grow to include hundreds of attorneys, serving tens of thousands of guys across America and now in England. And though I'm proud of our growth, I'm most proud of the values that are the foundation of our success. And while it's true that Cordell & Cordell has aggressively defended guys facing divorce, the cornerstone of our practice, we've also encouraged reconciliation where possible. The fact is, we're proud to be the partner that guys can count on when the partner they hope for let them down.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. Offices in Chesterfield, St. Charles, Arnold, Edwardsville, and Belleville.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements.
At Ameren, Illinois, we take safety seriously. And we know it's important to you, too. So if you smell natural gas, make sure to get everyone safely away from the source and call us immediately. A gas technician like me will come over to check things out anytime at no charge. Don't second guess when it comes to natural gas. If you suspect there's a leak, call 800-755-5000. Ameren, Illinois. Energy at work.
Life moves fast. You have to keep pace. Luckily for you, Jaguar St. Louis has just the thing. The new 2018 Jaguar F-Pace. This is not your ordinary SUV. It's versatility and luxury with unprecedented sports performance and a beast all its own. Lease it today for just $439 a month. Jaguar St. Louis, a Plaza Motor Company in Creve Coeur and JaguarSt.Louis.com. 39-month lease, $19.99 down, zero security deposit, plus taxes and fees, 10,000 miles per year. Call 314-301-1700 for details.
Cold weather tends to make people stop thinking about the outside of their home. At Banner Construction, that's when they begin scheduling their springtime work. So if you're planning an exterior beautification project anytime soon, take advantage of Banner's off-season pricing on the nation's most luxurious siding, James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding. Quality craftsmanship is a must when working with James Hardie products. That's why James Hardie has named Banner Construction an elite preferred remodeler for the past decade. And if you're considering new windows, check out Beechworth Windows. They come from the same renowned James Hardie company. If you've considered any of the big three, Marvin, Pella, or Anderson, you owe it to yourself to look at Beechworth Windows. They stack up with the best, and you'll be surprised at their affordability. Call Banner Construction today to learn more about how they can help you with these important projects around your home. Call Banner at 314-569-1050 or check them out on the web. And don't forget, have a Banner Day.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
The government probably will shut down.
There's not going to be a government shutdown.
We certainly don't want the government to shut down.
You can't shut down the government over DACA.
I do know how this movie ends.
Stay connected.
We're not going to leave 800,000 people with no place else to go out in the cold.
Do you believe he is fit for duty?
Absolutely, he's fit for duty.
FM News Talk 97.1.
North Korea.
That threat is growing.
S-hole countries.
A lot of people in the room.
Younger, smarter.
I didn't hear it.
Better.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
I know what happened. I stand behind every word that I said. In terms of that meeting, I'm focused on one thing, not that meeting, but on making sure that those who are being protected by DACA and eligible for the DREAM Act have a future in America. I'm focused on that full time.
Welcome back into the Annie Fry Show. I'm going to take a quick phone call here right now. Let's talk to Nick. Nick, thanks for calling in the Annie Fry Show.
Thanks for taking my call. I think you're woefully naive if you think that Democrats have good hearts and they want to do nice things. Look, you can't tell the difference anymore between a socialist and a Democrat.
Well, Nick, let me. I'll let you finish your point, but I want to clarify mine. I'm not talking about these folks you see in Washington D.C. I'm not talking about the folks you see on TV. I'm talking about your uncle that's a Democrat, or your millennial niece or nephew or cousin that is just wants everybody to love each other. And why can't we hug and make this better? Those people aren't bad people, and I want to make sure that we always make that separation between the circus that we see. That I agree with you. Those folks in Washington D.C. aren't bleeding heart liberals. They are capitalizing on the millennial nieces and nephews and uncles and all that are feeling that way. So just to clarify.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, it's a fair point. So I can back off, I guess, on my. On my comment when you put it in that perspective. But look, what was it, Chris Matthews, who asked, I think, Hillary Clinton, what's the difference between a Democrat and a socialist? She couldn't answer
You're
that.
right.
I think, what's his name, the Jewish dude.
Bernie Sanders?
Sanders. Yeah, he was asked what's the difference between a Democrat and a socialist. He couldn't tell the difference. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. It's a culture war, and the Democrats are moving, far, far, far left, and they know how to play it better than I think Republicans can right now. And it's sad. They had no intent. They had no intent of passing any bill because they wanted to get their way. They're throwing another temper tantrum because Trump took away their socialism and their voting stock. That's all this is.
Nick, I appreciate the phone call, and I think we agree more than you might have thought. here's the thing, and Nick touches on something right there that is really key. Republicans have a messaging problem. This right now, the ball is up in the air, and we don't know which way it's going to go. If the Republicans handle this appropriately and get the message out here, it's not because the Republicans have Trump, it's not have the presidency and have the Senate and have the House. We can't do anything if the filibuster doesn't stop in the Senate, and it ain't the Republicans participating in the filibuster. Congressman John Shimkus is going to call us now. We're going to talk to him about all of this. We're going to hear from somebody who's been on ground zero in the midst of this shutdown. Stay tuned at Annie Fry Show on Twitter on the break. We'll be back in a minute.
Talk lines are open now. 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Watch the Mark Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Brooklinen. So here's the way this works. When a new company, especially a national company, is interested in using me as a spokesperson, they send me whatever it is. Harry sends me shaving supplies, and MeUndies sends me underwear, and Brooklinen sent me sheets. I would say a box full of sheets, but it actually comes in this decorative bag, really kind of different and cool, and took them out of the bag, put them on my bed, didn't wash them, didn't do anything, and they were honestly the best, most comfortable, softest sheets I've ever slept on ever in my life. Feels like I've been sleeping on them for years, like they've been washed over and over again, broken in. They're just fantastic. It's a couple that started this company. It's direct bedding, pillowcases, sheets, comforters, duvet covers, everything at a fraction of the price. So use Glover as your promo code when you go to brooklinen.com. Get $20 off and free shipping, but only when you use Glover as your promo code at brooklinen.com. BROOKLINEN.com.
Radio. It's nothing new. It's been here all along, with free entertainment, news, sports, music, and information. It's not just part of life, it's a part of who we are. You know which station is going to tell you the score of the game, which one is going to give you a laugh in the morning, which one will give you something to sing along with. You know where to turn when the weather gets rough. When something big happens, good or bad, you know where to go. Because radio has been here all along. Radio is part of your community, woven into the fabric of what makes home, home. And now, radio has evolved to move with you with the Next Radio app in your FM-enabled phone. Just plug in your headphones to start experiencing radio in a whole new way while using way less battery and data than streaming apps. Check out the live guide to see and interact with live radio stations. Easily find your favorites, like the one you're listening to right now. And as always, it's totally free. Download the Next Radio app today. Next Radio, live and local, wherever you go.
Hi, I'm local tax attorney Lance Drury, and I've represented hundreds of individuals and small businesses in disputes with the IRS. So if you've been contacted for past due tax debt or haven't filed taxes in a while, contact me, Lance Drury. And because each client's case is unique, we'll meet face-to-face and go over your tax situation in detail. Together, we'll develop a strategy to resolve your tax issues. I'm experienced, I know your rights, and I'll give you honest answers. Under my 8-point plan, my firm will file the necessary forms needed to resolve your issue with the IRS, and you won't have to worry about talking to their agents. I'll negotiate on your behalf to get you the lowest settlement allowed by law. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we want to make sure that you're satisfied with the outcome. So call me now, Tax Resolution Attorney Lance Drury, 314-238-7360, or go to LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-333-1750. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
Hey, it's Tim Jones. Join me for the Tim Jones Show Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. We'll have Tim's Top 3, Media Malpractice, the top newsmakers of the week, and your phone calls.
The Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1. This is the Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now, 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797.
Reopen the United States government. Earlier today, I asked for consent to move up a vote on this bipartisan solution and to end the craziness today. Democrats objected. That won't.
That's all you need to know. Have you ever heard Mitch McConnell over this kind of music before? Because I haven't. You only get this type of radio amazingness here on the Annie Fry Show. This song is called Shut It Down, and it's like my new fave. It's funny. So they have reconvened. Congress is back in session. Mitch McConnell now addressing the Senate. And we have a count up since the government shut down. 18 hours, 38 minutes, 39 seconds, and they really need to get their act together before the football games start tomorrow, and the folks overseas that are dodging bullets can't watch football. Get it together. Put the American people first for once. Novel idea, huh? Think about the people who are here in this country because we matter. I know it's shocking to you, but we matter. You have to take care of us first. We can't take care of other people until we take care of ourselves. And as long as the Democrats decide to put the American people in the back of the van, all the way in the back where they can't be heard and they can't be messed with, and put all of their other focus on the people who aren't citizens here, as long as Democrats put Americans last, this is the type of situation this country is going to be in. And that's why we have Donald Trump. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the inauguration of President Trump. Been in office for 1 year now. And I'd say he's doing just fine. And until the Democrats get their acts together to realize that the reason why we have a President Trump is because the Democrats are so tone deaf about how much they put the American individual on the back burner and the American ideals on the back burner. Until Democrats realize that, I'm sorry, but I think 2018 is not going to be as great as you think it is. I'm going to take some phone calls here real quick. Linda, thank you so much for calling in the Annie Fry Show.
Hi, Annie. I agree with you totally. In fact, I think Trump is doing an excellent job when he has to fight his own party. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't care what he says or what he tweets. If he's getting our country out of debt and deregulating everything and making more jobs available to everyone, I don't think people understand Trump. He's a money man. He knows how to work the money. All he thinks is money. He thinks, but he has a love. He loves America too.
Yeah.
And I think that people spin it. And I think that Democrats could start doing something more productive instead of just trying to find. They're trying to dissect everything he says every day.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything. They're not doing their job.
They sure aren't focusing on the American person. They're not focusing on making America a better place to live for the people who already live here. They don't care. Linda, thanks for calling the show. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
So, here's what you have to ask yourself. If you have Dick Durbin saying that his number one priority, his only focus right now is on the DACA folks, you have to ask yourself, why is that his only focus? And I fear, for the Democrats' sake, that in the midst of all of this, in the midst of a shutdown where I know that they want to say that since the Republicans control the executive branch and they control the legislative branch, this is around the necks of Republicans. You need 60 votes. You need 60 in the Senate. And Republicans don't have 60. And the people who are filibustering this, to keep it from the vote, it's the Democrats. It's not the Republicans. So you cannot hang this around the necks of the Republicans. They can try. They can work overtime to try to make sure that people think that this is on President Trump. But I'm telling you right now, you are in an echo chamber when you say that. The people of this country have woken up. They are woke. They are aware of what has happened to this country in this idea to fundamentally change who we are and what we are. And all you need to do is look to November 8th of 2016 to understand why Americans get that. That's all they need to know. So maybe their fear of losing voters, maybe the shock of losing that election makes them realize that all of their eggs are in this basket where we can potentially put these people in the country and win this vote because they feel as though they are entitled to the black vote. They feel as though blacks will only vote if they put them in that bucket. Blacks owe their votes to Democrats, right? Because all blacks think the same, right? Isn't that what they think? And I have a surprise for them. Blacks are individual people, whites are individual people, men are individual people, women are individual people. We do think differently. We don't think the same. We don't participate in this groupthink, in this identity politics gotcha setup that the Democrats have. We see things, we take in information, we process facts, and then we vote. We don't rely on the government or the politicized media to serve up on a platter how we're supposed to think and this chew it down like well, yes, please, may I have another. That's not the way it works, and they don't understand that yet. And if they're going to continue to shut the government down and not put the American person first, they're going to continue to have the same troubles that they've had in the past. Joanne, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show.
Hi, Annie. I just want to tell you I like your show, hon.
Thank you.
And I just got one thing to say. Why don't we collect the parents of these, they act like they're 3 years old, even though they're like 33, kids that stayed here illegal, and send them all back with their family.
Yeah.
They're the ones who did the trouble
of bringing him here in the first place?
Yeah, right, hon.
Yeah, Joanne, thanks for calling the show.
No, wait a minute. Okay, I got one other thing I wanted to tell you. I think Dick Durbin and what's the guy that's head of the I'm old and I forget half what I'm saying. Head of the Democrats. What's his name?
Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, Chuck Schumer, and maybe they could put Nancy in with that. Send them all to that doctor and have them all checked out for their brains. And I think there'd be a surprise.
Yeah,
Thank you, hon.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'm young and I forget half of what I'm saying, too. I think it has something to do with the brain cells that my children suck out of my brain every moment that I'm awake. But, let's just for a moment sidestep and address something that Joanne said. This medical examination that President Trump underwent for a minute, let me say as a female, to think for a second about being subjected to that. If a female were to be president, and we can't even say Hillary, because if Hillary were president, she'd be a Democrat and they wouldn't be asking the questions. And if you don't believe me, look at Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who stands in front of a camera, 100 cameras every day, with a whole bunch of microphones on her every day. And you know what? The leftist feminist movement that is championing women all across the country today, you know what they're saying about Sarah Huckabee Sanders? They're making fun of her weight. They're making fun of her eyelashes. They're making fun of her makeup and her clothes. They're not listening to what she says. I want to go and talk to all of these Women's March people and say, does this stuff apply to Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Does this stuff apply to Kellyanne Conway? Does this stuff apply to Melania Trump, to Ivanka Trump, to Condoleezza Rice? The list goes on and on and on. Did it apply to Sarah Palin? All of those women look very different, but they all got treated the same. And you know why that is? They were all women. They were all politicians or in politics. They were all conservative. And more power to the curvy women of the world, because I happen to be one of them. And if I think for a second, and I've thought about running for office, just in what do I want to do with the rest of my life? That is a terrifying prospect, to think about putting yourself as a female in front of the entire country and then having people argue over whether you're 6'3" or 6'2" when it comes to 239, because you're obese if you're one and you're overweight if you're another. One would think that the BMI scale would be the most unifying factor for all Americans, left and right, because the whole thing is nuts. You'd think that this would be where we could come together. But if you are a conservative female put under that type of scrutiny, it would be destructive. It would take a woman of steel, one sort of like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, in order to see past that and see the smallness, the tininess, the hypocritical awfulness of this left-leaning media that wants to destroy what she looks like because they hate what she stands for. Put that message out there in a women's march and see how they react to that. It's really a travesty, and it's really hypocritical. Mark, thanks so much for calling the Annie Frey Show. That's probably not what you wanted to talk about, but I had to get off my soapbox.
I'm not bothered, if you don't mind. I will merely say that some of the most respected people in my life have been women. My grandmother and my mother, and they all are women of extremely strong will.
Yeah.
So they don't bother me a bit.
Amen to
they
that.
stand their ground and stand their principles. They don't bother me a bit, man.
That's right.
And I would have loved to vote for Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah, and
who happens to be female and happens to be black, but that doesn't even enter it.
But yeah, that's not why you want to vote for her, because she's a smart person and a strong leader that happens to be female and happens to be black. She might be 5'5", she might be 6'2". I don't know. Maybe we like tall people, maybe we like short people. But the point is that she thinks smart.
Yes. If you don't mind, going back a little bit to the topic of DACA, are you okay with that?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. I am just a fiscal conservative, social moderate, kind of sort of lumped into the camp that is labeled Republican.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, we need to go back to the root cause. The root cause that the Republicans aren't all that enthusiastic about solving in my opinion, solving the problem ties to the Chamber of Commerce doesn't really want to see the supply of inexpensive workers dry up and blow away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
VP, I've been to third world countries wearing a uniform for our country, and no, I'm not looking for a thank you. Where I'm going with that is, if I lived there and somebody offered me a job paying 10 times as much in America that didn't have much in the way of repercussions, I'd try to find a way here.
Yeah.
We have to go after not in a negative way, but we have to make it clear there's a new rules, implement them where there isn't a demand in the first place. As long as the demand is there, people will find a way to cross the border.
Well,
I don't care whether you put a wall in place or not. The real problem is the employer.
Yeah.
If that demand is there and you're offering a guy from Honduras, where in Honduras the conditions are hideous and it's $1 an hour.
Yeah. Honduras is like has some serious stuff going on there right now too.
But my primary point is anybody, I mean, if you lived in O'Fallon, Missouri and made $20 an hour and somebody offered you $100 an hour to work in Switzerland, you'd sure as heck be tempted.
Yeah.
It's not the human beings that are tempted and come that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the system that's the problem. So back up and regroup. Go after the topic of we have to enforce those laws, which is what the Republicans are more or less saying.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go back to following the laws and everything else. But the root cause is the demand. And I don't have a problem with any human being who wants to come. In fact, they broke the laws and there should be repercussions. I would be perfectly cool with, assuming they really had no say in coming, a permanent green card. But hey, we didn't bring you here. We didn't create the snafu. You don't get to be a citizen just because somebody else screwed up by the numbers.
And if you want to be
wanted to say.
Yeah, and if you want to be a citizen,
I don't want to have too much of your time. And thank you for the time I've had.
And Mark, you said you're not looking for a thank you, but I'm going to thank you anyway. So I mean, anybody who's willing to put on that uniform and serve, we want to be very, very vocal and being grateful for that here on the Annie Frey Show. He makes a strong point. It's this idea in our country where we have cheap labor. And I hear over and over and over again that they will do jobs that Americans won't. I mean, does that sound awful when you hear it? To say that out loud? Well, we need to have these people here because they'll do the jobs that we won't. It's like an elitist person saying that they'll have someone come in and clean their toilets because they can't be bothered with it. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. We have jobs that need to be done, and in this country, when we have a job that needs to be done without adequate workforce behind it, we innovate a way to make it more workable. We don't get a, quote-unquote, lesser people or a person who's willing to do a lesser job and ship them over here so we can pay them less and have the job done. What a crappy way to treat a human being. It really is. And the employers right now that are participating in this disrespect of the human individual, I don't care if they're Republicans or Democrats. I don't care if they're picking produce or working a field or working in any type of retail situation. I don't care what they're doing. If they're humans and we're talking about human dignity here, then we need to treat them with some human dignity. And not say, well, let's keep them here because they're cheaper workers and they'll do the things we don't want to do. You can't have that both ways. It won't work that way. Let's take another Mark here. Mark, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show.
Hello, Annie. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fan-damn-tastic. Really quick, my you know what body language is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The upper hand.
Yeah.
When it's a photo op, you always want to be the guy on the right-hand side so that your hand's on top, right?
Okay.
It's body language.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch Sarah Huckabee Sanders in press briefings, when she points at a reporter, she always does it with her wrist up, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's really cool. It's really kind of dainty and girly, which is cute. But she's basically saying, here's my wrist.
Yeah.
This is my vulnerable side, and she lets them say whatever they want to say, and then she just
smokes
them down.
Yeah, it's great to watch, right? What an empowered female. And if this were 1940, I don't know if we'd have a woman like that, but we had a women's movement. We have powerful, intelligent, brilliant, strong women, and we hate them if you're on the left. They don't believe exactly the way that the left believes, and we just destroy them. Isn't that the feminist way?
Yeah. I don't even get the feminist movement anymore. I mean, they were the ones that brought the hookup culture on us, and now it's just tearing us to shreds. Why do you think there's so many hepatitis C? Go get tested for hepatitis C now. It's because everybody hooked up back in the 60s, and everybody has hepatitis C.
Yeah, well, I when it comes to Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I think that everybody needs to understand what she is facing before she even has to face the job of being the White House press secretary. Before you have to get to the point where you have to know the inner workings of the Oval Office, the inner workings of President Trump's mind, all of that. It's a very, very hard job to do, and she has to deal with all this other crap. Real quick, Rick, I wanted to get you on here. Thanks for calling the show.
Hey, thanks. I just want to tell you I was subcontracting down in the San Antonio area and got to work with a lot of illegal aliens. And a few things from the other side. One thing was hardly any safety equipment or the proper gear, the proper clothing for these people. They just get dropped off. I had a guy come in early in the morning with spraying drywall on the ceiling. It was kind of like a black spray paint that dries almost instantly, so it comes down as a dust. I walked in the building. He had no goggles on, no respirator on, no gloves on, nothing, because the crew dropped him off, gave him nothing, so I had to give him everything of mine.
Yeah.
And it's just safety issue after safety issue. The other thing was very interesting. He came from Honduras, and I said, well, what was it like getting here? And he said he just drive his way across every border except the U.S. border guard will not take bribes.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. But I told him, I said, the reason you're being treated this way is because you're illegal. You're under the radar. If you go and get your legal citizenship, they can't treat you like this.
That's right. Yeah. There is a way to do it. There is a way that we can welcome all of these people into the country. It's not as though we don't want people here. We just want them to take their shoes off when they come into our home, because that's our rule. Or maybe it isn't the rule in your house and you say wear your shoes, that's fine. But houses have rules, and so does this country. Jamie Allman's coming up next. He has some, from what I understand, breaking news that you're going to want to not miss right here on the Annie Fry Show. Tweet at me at Annie Fry Show. Follow me at Annie Fry Show. And go to Facebook.com/Annie Fry Show. And you can continue to stream the show at 971talk.com. Back in a minute.
After a record-breaking year at Diamonds Direct, we just want to say thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust. It's never something we take for granted, and we pledge to work even harder in the new year to exceed your expectations. And for 2018 at Diamonds Direct, we're expanding our selection once again with an even larger inventory of hand-picked diamonds. These are precious 100% natural stones created literally billions of years ago deep in the center of the earth. Real, rare diamonds with lasting and proven value, offered at the guaranteed best price in America. Plus, we've expanded our selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, the latest fashion-forward pieces you won't find anywhere else. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a special anniversary this year, come let us share our passion for diamonds. Let us show you how to identify real value, and let us help you make the most of this remarkable moment in your life. Diamonds Direct, offering the unique blend of uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Come discover the remarkable combination for yourself at Olive and 270 at City Place.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. TJ Williams from the Institute of Natural Health. I would like to invite you to tune in to our show, Wellness 101, Sundays at 3 p.m. During this exciting hour, we will be diving into the health topics that you want to know about. We will be talking about your concerns and giving real-life examples of ways people can heal and the transformations we have seen with our clients. So tune in to Wellness 101, Sundays at 3, where we will cut through the nonsense to provide you common sense, science-based strategies for a healthy life. That's Wellness 101, Sundays at 3. And you can find us online at theinstituteofnaturalhealth.com.
Hey, this is Birdlegs from Sugar Creek Winery, inviting you to visit us during the winter. We are open weekends from 11 to 6.
Gather your friends and bring a picnic to enjoy in one of our cozy fireplace rooms. We are now offering Judgment Tree Vodka, crafted by the Distillery of Defiance, located here on our hilltop.
Planning a private party or wedding? Call us at 636-987-2400 and check our website, Sugar Creek Wine.
KFTK FM, Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk, 97.1.
Trying to make a deal. I'm Joe Chiaro, Fox News. Congress is working into the night to resolve the government shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell moments ago promising to continue the effort.
We'll be right back at this tomorrow and for as long as it takes. We'll keep at this until Democrats end their extraordinary filibuster of government funding and children's health care and allow a bipartisan majority of senators to reopen the federal government.
The shutdown began when Democrats rejected a funding bill after not getting concessions on immigration, including DACA. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer ultimately blames President Trump.
The Republican leadership can't get a tumultuous president on board with anything, and they don't offer us any compromises on their own. The breakdown of compromise is poisoning this Congress, and it all springs from President Trump.
The White House says it will not negotiate on immigration as long as the shutdown continues. Many major cities across the nation holding massive rallies on this one-year anniversary of President Trump's inauguration. The marchers promoting equal representation for women.
It's time to have more representation in Congress, and it's time to break the glass ceiling.
That woman in New York. There was also clear anti-administration themes throughout the marches. At least 4 gunmen stormed the Intercontinental Hotel in Kabul.
Security forces at the hotel returned fire. Hostages were reportedly taken, but the hotel manager was able to escape unhurt. He said the attackers entered the hotel through the kitchen. The hotel is one of the few luxury hotels in Afghanistan's capital. On Sunday, an information technology conference was slated to take place. According to a government official, there were more than 100 IT engineers and managers at the...
Fox's David Lee Miller. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The official FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for skies to turn cloudy tonight, then areas of fog and spotty drizzle late, low 45. Tomorrow starts out with clouds and spotty drizzle. The rest of the day mainly gray but mild with a high near 60. Cloudy tomorrow night, a couple of showers in the evening, and steadier rain and thunder late, low near 50. Monday, cloudy and breezy with a couple of showers, high 56. I'm meteorologist Frank Strait for FM News Talk 97.1.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in St. Louis? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the St. Louis area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. St. Louis is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text WORK to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. Text WORK to 82,000. That's WORK to 82,000.
Hey guys, Glover here for Rock and Jump in O'Fallon, Missouri. It is 30,000 square feet of clean, safe fun, including trampolines, dodgeball, rock climbing, basketball dunking, stunt bag jousting, a ninja course. This is the place for kids and teenagers to have birthday parties. There's free Wi-Fi, free lockers, comfortable seating, great pizza, drinks, snacks for adults and kids, even massage chairs. They strive for a Disney-like environment, a Chick-fil-A level of customer service. They really, truly try harder. PTO, schools, bands, sports teams, fundraisers. They have tweens and teens evenings on Fridays and neon Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. So many things to love. Mention the DGS and get $25 off your birthday party package. Call 636-321-4024 or visit O'Fallon.rockandjump.com. That's ROCKIN, O'Fallon.rockandjump.com.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover loss or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
Keeping you informed and up to date.
We all know what the president has said. He wants a shutdown.
The president doesn't want to shut down.
My Democratic colleagues would want to shut down the government over illegal immigration.
The news and talk station for St. Louis.
Republicans and Democrats pointing the finger at each other.
This has turned into a S-show. Washington melodrama.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Only you, quite frankly, Mr. President, can fix this problem because you have credibility to others.
Younger, smarter,
don't.
Better.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I
love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome into the Annie Fry Show. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. What a beautiful Saturday. What a beautiful day for a government shutdown served up to you on behalf of the Democrats. We've been talking throughout the course of the show so far about how this shutdown is a product of a misguided Democratic Party that has lost sight of their purpose in the United States Congress. Lost sight of the fact that they are there to represent the people, not to represent the people who want to come here. The reason people want to come here is because we're a nation of laws, we're a nation ruled by the people, not a nation of an oppressive government. A lot of the places that these folks are coming from, they live in these countries where the government is oppressive. And that's why they want to come here. And we're going to continue to see this type of grandstanding on the Democrats' behalf. And Congress was in session. I think that did Chuck Schumer just say they were closing up shop for the night and they're going to come back tomorrow? There is action in Washington, D.C. right now, and we're hoping to get Congressman Shimkus on later in the hour to discuss everything that's going on. One thing that I talked about earlier that I want to bring up again is this whole memo, the Nunes memo that is out there that if you've read anything about it, people are saying that have read it, they say it's absolutely shocking. They're saying it's the scandal of the century. They're making it seem like we're going to feel like we got hit by a ton of bricks when this information becomes available to us. Will we? I don't know. It's one of those times where I want to be very quiet and pay a whole lot of attention. It's like you have my undivided attention about this. Tell me more. I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to say that the entire democracy, republic that we know, or as we know it, is going to crumble now. But there's something percolating here, and it seems to be something that is going to make Americans feel very, very uncomfortable in regards to what the government is capable and willing to do regarding the surveillance of the people here. I'm going to take a couple phone calls here before we get to our guest, Jamie Allman, so stay tuned for that. First, I'm going to take Gary's phone call. Gary, thanks for holding.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain too much for an old man. What I was in agreement with you 100% about the black voters. The thing of it is that as a black man, I ask my friends and stuff, why do they vote Democrat? And they don't have a reason why they do. So I try and express it as much as I can to vote issue, not party. Issue, not party. And I do believe that's why the Democrats are dealing with trying to get so many people into this country so that they can put them in the place where they had the black people. Black people are starting to think now.
Yeah.
They're not being led. We don't have, as a matter of fact, it irks me when somebody mentioned the word black leader. Nobody's my leader. I mean, what would I be doing with a leader? You know, I hear that all the time, and that just irks me.
Yeah.
You know, because I think for myself.
Amen to that, Gary.
And I don't need nobody to tell me who to vote for or who to do. I look at the issues. I just became a Christian. I used to be an atheist, and I have church members in the church that supposedly follow the Bible, where it says abortion is bad, same-sex marriage is bad, and all of that stuff. But yet and still they'll go and vote Democrat, and that puzzles me.
Yeah. Well, Gary,
it really does.
Your voice is an important one, and you need to continue to speak up. And we love having you here at 97.1. And we don't love having you here because you're black. We love having you here because you are a free thinker, and that is important.
I was looking for a news station on Sunday, and I found this one, and I agree with you guys 100% because normally on Sunday I don't have anything but the AM stuff to listen to, but I came across 97.1, and it's a pretty good station.
Amen to that, Gary. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Okay, and you all have a very blessed day.
Bless you too, Jamie. We're going to go to Jamie Allman right now. Jamie, you got to follow up Gary. Gary's one of my favorite people now.
Boy, I'll tell you, just when you think you have amassed an entire slew, but a finite slew of common sense thinkers, the new ones keep just coming and coming down the hill. It's fantastic.
They've seen the light.
Gary.
Jamie Allman's joining us now on a Saturday. Jamie, you've had a busy day, and I'm just going to set it up that way. Tell us about what your Saturday has looked like.
Well, it began with the Randy Tobler show. Then we had our big Biker for Trump rally down in Jefferson City at the Capitol. Then a big rally where it really was a few of the people who were on the Missouri ballot. We had Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson. We had Josh Hawley. We had Jay Ashcroft and Eric Schmidt. But mostly this is a time also to say to the people who were gathered in the Rotunda, hey, this is for you. This is your celebration. This is your anniversary celebration. You did the hard work. You gave President Trump 19 points of an advantage in Missouri.
Yeah.
You came, worked hard, and so it was really more of a celebration of the anniversary of the inauguration, but also a celebration of what's happened in the year that he's been in office, and also at the local level as well, with all kinds of changes in the 529 and other things that have gone on, and job creation, that kind of thing. So that was great. And then after the rally, at about 2:30 or so, I was able to kind of have a more private, off-the-record visit with Governor Eric Greitens, and that was really great. Had a chance to have him meet my son Aiden. That was very nice too, and he signed a little book for him, The Warrior's Heart, and it was just really a cool experience. And then the governor and I kind of had Aiden chill for a little while and went into his office and talked about what's been going on.
Yeah, Greitens has been a huge story here, but he hasn't really. You know, there's just too much going on right now for it to really break through to the national media where everybody cares about it. But CNN ran a story just yesterday that talks about the headline that I'm looking at right now is FBI open inquiry into Missouri Governor Eric Greitens. Did he talk about that?
Yeah, he did. And well, a lot of what we talked about was kind of off the record, but I do have other people who are talking to me about what happened and what a bunch of crap that CNN story is. First of all, you could say that the FBI is investigating anything, and it's really easy to do if you're a lazy organization, because the FBI will never confirm or deny they're talking to anybody. And you notice that we had two people part of that story. One was this Rob Schaaf guy, who is from St. Joseph. He's a GOP senator, and he has hated the Greitens administration from day one because he begged them for a cabinet job and didn't get it. So ever since Schaaf was basically rejected, told to pound sand for a cabinet job, he's done nothing but tweet and harass the governor and go against everything he's had. But at one time, Schaaf desperately was pleading for a job in the Greitens cabinet and was rejected. And then so you have this guy talk about how he talked to the FBI. Well, what he doesn't say is that the FBI didn't contact him.
Oh.
He contacted the FBI. So when you can act as if the FBI was kind of snooping around and decided they were going to talk to the almighty Senator Schaaf. But the fact is, he called them. So, but you don't see that in the story in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And you also have this Eli Caravel character who is a former Democratic operative. CNN, and I don't know whether Eli Caravel lied about it, but the bottom line is he was never part of the Greitens transition team. And in fact, they spent a lot of time trying to keep him away from anybody in the Republican Party because he was so unstable as a person, a belligerent individual who constantly harassed people and did things that they didn't like. And so they were trying to get rid of him most of the time, even talked to his family and said, hey, listen, can you help us with this kid? Because he's, not helping himself or helping matters. And so he winds up claiming that he has been talked to by the FBI, which of course cannot be confirmed in any way, shape, or form. And if he did talk to the FBI, it wasn't because they wanted to talk to him, it's because he wanted to talk to them. And besides that, he has a long history of being mildly unstable on Twitter and beyond, so he's not a credible source. And by the way, it just so happens he has retained an attorney.
Oh.
You know who the attorney is?
Who?
The attorney is the attorney for the ex-husband of the woman.
Same one.
Who was taped talking about Eric Greitens.
So we have some connection there on the attack of Governor Greitens. This to me seems a little bit parallel to what we've seen with President Trump for the entirety of the time that he's, at least even before he had the nomination, but this constant barrage of attacks on President Trump. There is some unfortunate truths that exist in both President Trump's past and in the governor's past, but just because there has been a personal decision that was made that was a mistake doesn't automatically mean that there has been an illegality or criminal behavior that exists. So to the left or to the Democrat side, the conversation is what is valuable, not the outcome. And in fact, the outcome is the worst thing that could happen, is to have a resolution to any of these, because in both cases, Trump and Greitens, at least as far as I know, for both individuals, there's no there. There isn't any meat that's going to make these people feel satiated when this comes to a conclusion.
Well, on top of that, Annie, these individuals who are calling for him to resign, especially the GOP guys, they've been in the swamp so long that they don't think people know what they're up to. They don't believe, for instance, like this guy Scott Fawn, who's a TV show host and runs the Missouri Times. They don't think we know that one of his main sponsors is a person who is pushing for the tax credit program that Eric Greitens wants to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy Conway and the Taster character, they don't think we know that they're term-limited individuals who desperately want jobs after they're done with companies that are actively seeking to derail Governor Greitens' tax credit reform. I mean, they don't think this is obvious what they're doing. They've always been for tax credits because they're not really true conservatives. And tax credits by themselves aren't bad. The abuse of them is, and that's what Governor Greitens is trying to do, is reform this whole matter. Now, keep in mind, this is also taking place. Things are about to ratchet up quite a bit with Governor Greitens and his fighting back against these individuals who are doing this purely for political reasons. And part of that fight back will include, there is, I know, and this isn't coming from the Greitens office, but there is right now, there are individuals who are concerned that there might have been somebody in a pretty high position of power who was offering jobs to individuals if he eventually became governor after Greitens resigned, offering jobs to them in exchange for them to call for his resignation, for Greitens' resignation. And if that's the case, that's illegal.
Yeah, so, that's insanity. It's insanity, and it almost seems, I'm going to pivot here a little bit, but it kind of leads right into it. It almost seems a little bit about this hashtag release the memo that we're hearing about, this Nunes memo, where there's some information coming out about the FISA warrants that are trying to be used to hang Trump. I want you to listen here. There's Sarah Carter and Sebastian Gorka were on with Sean Hannity last night. This is what they had to say about this memo.
Remember, Sean, it was about the FISA. It was about FISA 702, abusing that system. And remember, they collect everything. This is not just about foreigners. There's a collection of all Americans. So every call that's made overseas, every email, everything. I want to know how many people within the Trump campaign and within the Trump administration, they were actually...
How many people?
How many?
Surveilled and unmasked and leaked upon.
It's Obamagate, so.
Did you hear Sebastian there say it's Obamagate? There's this idea that out there, and a lot of high-profile people saying release this memo. It's not just the pundits that kind of can get you worked up, and then you find out what it is, and you're like, there are high-profile people who have read this, who have said that this is earth-shattering. What do you think about all this, and what do you think is going to actually end up happening? Because I have a tweet right now from Alan Bouchard, and he says, could the shutdown really be about causing an uproar to bury this memo? I don't know. I don't know anything right now.
Certainly it could be a distraction because what else is going to be happening there? But they could still release the memo even if the government is shut down. But here's the thing. This memo, if what is suspected is true, yeah, you have something, as Sebastian pointed out, is absolutely worse than Watergate by multitudes. And what you have here is, if you go back to the original tweet that President Trump made to cause such an uproar, and it was always followed without evidence by the media, and that was he said that President Obama was wiretapping him. And of course, that was possibly based on information he already knew, that there was a lot of deep state activity going on that was involving individuals, the FBI paying, for instance, for this dossier, and then ultimately using the dossier to get warrants to spy on the Trump campaign. I mean, that is just an absolute violation of constitutional rights, and it certainly is, in my opinion, an example of the possibility of an attempt at a silent coup to try to prevent the outcome of a certain election that seemed inevitable, which was the Trump election. So, I mean, if that's the case, it becomes huge. And the memo is interesting because I'm wondering why we need a memo released and why we just don't simply have Jeff Sessions saying, I'm investigating this, because the memo clearly is in the hands of someone with some authority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and so, you know, we're going to find out. They're going to have to address this eventually somehow. I mean, with the shutdown too, like, this clip was out there while you were still on the air this week, but we have Dick Durbin now talking about, you know, how he's focused on one thing and one thing only. Dick Durbin is my senator. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing to say that, but I'm from Illinois, so it's probably not the most embarrassing thing I can say about the state. But if you look at everywhere I pivot right now, looking at the Democratic Party and the things that they hang their hats on, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Are they gonna be the ones who are going to own this shutdown if it lasts any reasonable length of time?
Well, of course they will, because, obviously last time people blamed Republicans, but it never had any effect on the election. So this idea that somehow it's going to affect the Republicans, even if they do blame them, it's not going to matter. But the bottom line is this. It was clear that this was a political move from the Democrats. They did not need to include DACA in discussions about a continuing resolution. Mulvaney put it very succinctly about how the DACA wasn't supposed to, it was going to expire until March. They had plenty of time. They didn't even have a bill they could possibly vote on regarding DACA. And so the only reason it was an issue is so that the Democrats could make it one to shut down the government, because that's what they wanted. They needed desperately to have that happen. So it's not only that they didn't want a DACA deal, they just wanted the government to shut down. So, because they know it has an impact, at least in the minds of people. But I think they're wrong again in their predictions that they have been for the past 2 years. But still, it was not necessary for DACA to be part of any discussion about a continuing resolution. The Democrats were getting everything they wanted, including the health care for the kids and the Social Security issue and all kinds of things. They got everything they wanted. There was no reason for them to stand in the way except to produce an outcome they felt desirous to their political needs.
Well, we have a headline here. It says McConnell announces vote to reopen government at 1 a.m. on Monday. This is going to force the Democrats to vote for, it says the vote will be on the bill to fund the government through February 8th. So that happens on 1 a.m. on Monday, and you are behind the microphone at 5 a.m. on Monday, and you will have all the latest. So it's just like they're doing that just for you, so you can be the first one to cover it.
Right, for the All in the Morning show. Well, they're wise, and I appreciate so much.
Well, we appreciate you, Jamie. Saturdays are fun for everyone else to enjoy not being at work, and I appreciate you joining me for a little bit.
Well, you have a great show, and it's a privilege having you on Fridays, too, so knock 'em dead.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Tune in to Allman in the Morning, weekdays 5 to 9 a.m., right here on 97.1. There's so much information and so much news and so much developing so quickly that you just really can't turn your radio off. You have to stay with us all the time because we are constantly working hard here at FM News Talk 97.1 around the clock for you. And Gary, I'm still thinking about your phone call. That was a great call. I appreciate it. 971talk.com/Annie to stream more. We have the YouTube live stream video up there. If you want to weigh in on anything we're talking about right now, I want to talk to you. 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797 or at Annie Fry Show on Twitter over the break. We'll be back with your calls. Just a minute.
Drop another line like a go with the curse. Coming like a
Freak Show takes the stage. We give him the games he plays.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now, 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797.
I'm not listening when you say goodbye.
Log on to 971talk.com/Allman and you can watch the show live on the Arrowhead Building Supply Studio Cam. Use your mobile device or computer to join the Allman in the Morning live stream. Arrowhead Building Supply Studio Cam, 971talk.com/Allman.
Gravity is only a suggestion. Physics is just a theory. Impossible is merely an opinion. Monster Jam, celebrating 25 years of adrenaline-charged family entertainment and selling out stadiums across the country. Tickets are on sale now. Monster Jam returns with 2 huge shows coming to the Don't Let America Center March 3rd and 4th. Don't miss out. Lock in your seats today. For tickets and show details, visit monsterjam.com today.
Cold weather tends to make people stop thinking about the outside of their home. At Banner Construction, that's when they begin scheduling their springtime work. So if you're planning an exterior beautification project anytime soon, take advantage of Banner's off-season pricing on the nation's most luxurious siding, James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding. Quality craftsmanship is a must when working with James Hardie products. That's why James Hardie has named Banner Construction an elite preferred remodeler for the past decade. And if you're considering new windows, check out Beechworth Windows. They come from the same renowned James Hardie company. If you've considered any of the big 3, Marvin, Pella, or Anderson, you owe it to yourself to look at Beechworth Windows. They stack up with the best, and you'll be surprised at their affordability. Call Banner Construction today to learn more about how they can help you with these important projects around your home. Call Banner at 314-569-1050 or check them out on the web. And don't forget, have a Banner Day.
Hi, I'm Jay Ashcroft. Here at the Secretary of State's office, we take the integrity of our elections seriously. Missourians agreed and passed Constitutional Amendment 6. Missouri's new photo ID law is now in effect. Have questions about the new voter ID law or need to register to vote? We're here to help. Visit showittovote.com or call 866-868-3245. Remember, if you're registered to vote, you can vote.
Sponsored by the Missouri Secretary of State's office.
Radio. It's nothing new. It's been here all along with free entertainment, news, sports, music, and information. It's not just part of life, it's part of who we are. You know which station is going to tell you the score of the game, which one's going to give you a laugh in the morning, which one is going to give you something to sing along with. You know where to turn when the weather gets rough. When something big happens, good or bad, you know where to go because radio has been here all along. Radio is part of your community, woven into the fabric of what makes home, home. And now, radio has evolved to move with you with the Next Radio app and your FM-enabled phone. Just plug in your headphones to start experiencing radio in a whole new way while using way less battery and data than streaming apps. Check out the live guide to see and interact with live radio stations. Easily find your favorites like the one you're listening to right now. And as always, it's totally free. Download the Next Radio app today. Next Radio, live and local wherever you go.
After a record-breaking year at Diamonds Direct, we just want to say thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust. It's never something we take for granted, and we pledge to work even harder in the new year to exceed your expectations. And for 2018 at Diamonds Direct, we're expanding our selection once again with an even larger inventory of hand-picked diamonds. These are precious 100% natural stones created literally billions of years ago deep in the center of the earth. Real, rare diamonds with lasting and proven value, offered at the guaranteed best price in America. Plus, we've expanded our selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, the latest fashion-forward pieces you won't find anywhere else. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a special anniversary this year, come let us share our passion for diamonds. Let us show you how to identify real value, and let us help you make the most of this remarkable moment in your life. Diamonds Direct, offering the unique blend of uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Come discover the remarkable combination for yourself at Olive and 270 at City Place.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
The government probably will shut down.
There's not going to be a government shutdown.
We certainly don't want the government to shut down.
You can't shut down the government over DACA.
I do know how this movie ends.
Stay connected.
We're
not going to leave 800,000 people with no place else to go out in the cold.
Do you believe he is fit for duty?
Absolutely, he's fit for duty.
FM News Talk 97.1.
North Korea.
That threat is growing.
S-hole countries.
A lot of people in the room.
Younger, smarter.
I didn't hear it.
Better.
How fickle my heart and how woozy my eyes. I struggle to find any truth in your lies.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Stumbles on things I don't know. My weakness I feel I must finally show.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C., and welcome back to the largest pro-life gathering in the United States of America, the 45th Annual March for Life. More than 240 years ago, our founders wrote words that have echoed through the ages. They declared these truths to be self-evident, that we are, each of us, endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. 45 years ago, the Supreme Court of the United States turned its back on the unalienable right to life. But in that moment, our movement began. A movement that continues to win hearts and minds. A movement defined by generosity, compassion, and love. And a movement that 1 year ago tomorrow inaugurated the most pro-life president in American history, President Donald Trump. My friends, life is winning in America because love saves lives. And know as you march for life that your compassion, your persistence, your activism, and your prayers are saving lives. And this pro-life generation should never doubt we are with you. This president stands with you. And he who said, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you," is with you as well. And I believe with all of my heart, with your continued dedication and compassion, with pro-life majorities in the Congress, with President Donald Trump in this White House, and with God's help, we will restore the sanctity of life to the center of American law. On this 45th Annual March for Life, it is now my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump.
Today, tens of thousands of families, students, and patriots, and really just great citizens gather here in our nation's capital. You come from many backgrounds, many places, but you all come for one beautiful cause: to build a society where life is celebrated, protected, and cherished. The March for Life is a movement born out of love. You love your families, you love your neighbors, you love our nation, and you love every child, born and unborn, because you believe that every life is sacred, that every child is a precious gift from God. Under my administration, we will always defend the very first right in the Declaration of Independence, and that is the right to life.
Welcome back into the Annie Fry Show. That is your president, President Donald Trump, speaking at the March for Life. I wrote down some words. I watched some video from the New York City Women's March, and after listening to that beautiful testimony from President Trump and Vice President Pence, I'm not even going to play it for you because it just ruins it. But the things that they said that they were standing for at the Women's March: truth, equality, justice, and kindness. And I would venture to say that the March for Life was standing for those exact same things: truth, equality, justice, and kindness. I'm taking Elena's phone call here. Elena has called in, and it says that you were at the Women's March today here in St. Louis, Elena?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about your experience.
I'm 18 years old.
You're
I'm
18.
a college student.
You're
and
18?
I'm a member of our Students for Life Club on campus.
You're 18 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're at the Women's March, and you are a pro-life person, and you're listening to the Annie Fry Show.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for calling in. We appreciate it. Tell us what you experienced out there at the Women's March today.
So we wanted to bring awareness to the rights of the unborn babies. I think in the pro-choice movement, they just don't understand like a lot about development of the babies and whatnot, and how abortion is really harmful for the woman as well. So we wanted to pass around some literature. We didn't want to be noticed because like we didn't want to look like we were trying to cause trouble. So we just didn't wear anything to stand out.
Yeah.
We had our pamphlets, like we had this one pamphlet that was about like when babies begin to feel pain in the womb, which is around like 20 weeks.
Yeah.
And whether or not it should be legal to have abortions or not. So we were just handing out, and we had this pamphlet about Planned Parenthood and like how how many abortions they commit each year, and how 94% of their services are actually doing abortions. So we were just handing that out to people, and I don't think they really knew what we were doing. We're just like, "Hi, how are you?" And some people were like, this one lady, she was really funny. She was like, "Oh, that's not science." And I was
No,
like,
actually,
what do
it
you
is
mean
only
it's not
science. Yeah.
So, I mean, people were overall respectful because we were respectful.
Good.
But this one lady, she was like, oh, like it was so funny because I was handing her a pamphlet, and she's like, what is this? I'm like, oh, this is facts about fetal pain development. And she's like, facts? And just like walks away. Like she was surprised we had something to share that wasn't based only on our opinions or our emotions.
Well, Elena, you know, you're a young, bright and well-spoken woman who is out trying to share information with people. And you know, I had an organizer on from the Women's March last week because I wanted to know, what does somebody like you or what does somebody like me experience at this Women's March? Is it a place for us? Because guess what? You and I are both women, and it is a women's march. So are we represented? And for you to be able to go out there and truly present yourself in the perfect way, which is respectfully, not there to you know, get a soundbite or to cause a ruckus and try to, you know, unfortunately get somebody to react in a way that maybe doesn't represent all the people there. That's a really, really great thing that you're doing. And the fact that you're fearless going to do this, it's impressive. You're an impressive person, Elena. Oh,
thank you. I very much appreciate it.
What's your organization?
It's Students for Life of America.
Okay.
Yes, it's our first year on campus. Our regional director is Reagan Barklage, and she it was actually in Washington, D.C. So, but there's one other thing I'd like to point out. I just think all the feminists, I think they kind of contradict themselves because, I don't know, they're all like, oh, we don't want to sexualize women. We're against sexualizing women. But then they have signs that are like, that are just, they base like their signs off like their organs. Like, this pussy fights back and all this stuff. I'm like, this doesn't really like seem, you're just trying to get attention. You're not trying to make a stance for yourself. You're just trying to get attention. I don't think you're not desexualizing women. You're just making it more based on like your organs, not who you really are.
It's a shock value thing. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Well, Elena, thank you so much for calling the show. I'm going to put you on hold, and hopefully my associate producer Ken can get some of your information because I might like to get back in contact with you so you can share your phone number and your email with him, and I'm going to contact you after the show is over.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elena. I really appreciate it. So there you have it. 18-year-old female at the Women's March sharing a different view. And to me, it sounds like she brought information to the discussion and she shared it. And I'm sure some people saw it and dismissed it. And I'm sure some people rolled their eyes and might have said some things under their breath. But I'll tell you right now, if one person was affected by that, if one person managed to see the world a little bit differently because of her efforts, that's all you got to do. And you got to be fearless and bold in your message and sharing that with people, because guess what? It is science. It's science. It's that simple. It's life. It's science. And don't shirk the concept of it being facts just because it's unfortunate for your message. And if you can defend what abortion truly is, if you can be honest and open about what abortion is and still defend it, then those facts shouldn't matter to you. They shouldn't make you uncomfortable. But unfortunately, you can't. You cannot defend it. It's indefensible. Thanks for listening to the Annie Frey Show. We're going to try to get Congressman Shimkus on here, who's in Washington, D.C., and is a busy man. We're going to try to talk to him next. Stay tuned at Annie Frey Show on Twitter over the break. We'll be back in just a second.
I struggle to find any truth in your lies. And now my heart stumbles.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
My weakness I feel I must finally show.
Traffic reports at your fingertips. Real-time traffic online. Log on to 971talk.com for real-time traffic updates.
Brought to you by Deck and Patio Living. Make your backyard dreams come true. Call 890-2222.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Tell me if this describes you. You're a man who's worked hard all your life. You have a nice house, a savings, a good retirement. But now there's just one problem. Your wife says she wants out. She says she wants a divorce. Suddenly, everything you've worked so hard for, it's all on the table. Your house, your pension, and most important, your kids. She says she feels terrible about the way things have turned out. She says she wants to be fair. Trust her, she says. May I suggest to you an alternative? Consider trusting instead the law firm Cordell & Cordell. You're facing one of the most pivotal, critical times in your life. It's at times like these that you need a partner you can count on.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Chesterfield, St. Charles, Arnold, Edwardsville, and Belleville.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Financial Symphony is a show that blends the worlds of music and finance together in one harmonious package. It features your local financial maestro, Jerry Means.
A lot of advisors out there are mainly giving accumulation advice or looking at the growth through your working years. You really need to take a look at, is your advisor giving you advice on preservation and distribution?
That's the Financial Symphony with Jerry Means, Sunday mornings at 9 on FM News Talk 97.1.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
Life moves fast. You have to keep pace. Luckily for you, Jaguar St. Louis has just the thing. The new 2018 Jaguar F-Pace. This is not your ordinary SUV. It's versatility and luxury with unprecedented sports performance and a beast all its own. Lease it today for just $439 a month. Jaguar St. Louis, a Plaza Motor Company in Creve Coeur and JaguarSt.Louis.com. 39-month lease, $19.99 down, 0 security deposit, plus taxes and fees, 10,000 miles per year. Call 314-301-1700 for details.
Radio. It's nothing new. It's been here all along. With free entertainment, news, sports, music, and information. It's not just part of life. It's a part of who we are. You know which station is going to tell you the score of the game, which one is going to give you a laugh in the morning, which one will give you something to sing along with. You know where to turn when the weather gets rough. When something big happens, good or bad, you know where to go. Because radio has been here all along. Radio is part of your community, woven into the fabric of what makes home, home. And now, radio has evolved to move with you with the Next Radio app in your FM-enabled phone. Just plug in your headphones to start experiencing radio in a whole new way while using way less battery and data than streaming apps. Check out the live guide to see and interact with live radio stations. Easily find your favorites, like the one you're listening to right now. And as always, it's totally free. Download the Next Radio app today. Next Radio, live and local, wherever you go.
Hey St. Louis, it's Brian Kilmeade with a reminder to join me each weekday morning from 9 till noon as we cover the biggest and hottest news of the day. We'll even mix in some fun. Kilmeade and Friends weekdays at 9 a.m. on FM News Talk 97.1.
Could love be the wake-up call? Could love be the wrecking ball? Could love be the medicine? Could love help me breathe again?
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Took some hits to the chest. The weight of reality, stronger than gravity. I've been needing to heal up. Just heal up.
I know what happened. I stand behind every word that I said. In terms of that meeting, I'm focused on one thing, not that meeting, but on making sure that those who are being protected by DACA and eligible for the DREAM Act have a future in America. I'm focused on that full time.
Welcome back into the Annie Fry Show. We've been talking all show about getting Congressman John Shimkus on, who's a very busy man and has got a lot of things to do. So thank you so much for cutting out some time to talk to us here on a Saturday evening.
Well, it's unfortunate that our vote schedule kind of interrupted the original time schedule, and we are done for the night, so you got me.
Good. Yeah, it's unfortunate when congressional business gets in the way of...
Dang nabbit, I hate it when we work.
So
no one believes it, though. No one
believes you're working. Well, there's proof right there. You got it here on the Annie Fry Show. So you had something on your Facebook page, your Congressman John Shimkus Facebook page. You said, last night, Senator Dick Durbin and Senator Tammy Duckworth, calling out the Illinois senators, voted against our military, against long-term funding for the CHIP program, and against keeping our government open. Their actions have also endangered funding for the CDC in the middle of a nationwide flu epidemic. What's going to happen here? We've got Republicans in charge of all of the major legislative branch, the two legislative chambers and also the presidency. And Democrats want to point to that and say, you GOP folks, you can't get your act together. Is that the case? What's going to happen in the next hours or days regarding this Schumer shutdown?
Well, as you know, when I taught basic government history, and you would think simple majorities rule on the legislative process, but it doesn't in the Senate. You have to have 60 votes. We only have 51 Republican senators. So when you can't get to the 60 and you need Democratic votes, it's safe, and I think it's fair to point to where did you not get the 60? How could you not get to 60? Now, I think a lot of people struggle with this filibuster, issue, but that's the rules right now. And we just look at the bill itself. I mean, the Democrats want to leverage this for things that aren't part of the spending process. So the continuing resolution says a couple things. Keep government open. I think everyone believes that we should keep government open. Mm-hmm. 2, it says we're going to fund our military, and we're going to make sure they have the resources they need. Everyone agrees with that. 3, it says we're going to make sure that we're going to reauthorize and pay for the Children's Health Insurance Program, which for 6 years, which is longer than anyone thought we would be able to do, and it's paid for.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees to that. So, I mean, there is no reason to vote no unless you're leveraging and you're politicizing this event to get something that the American people aren't ready to address, which is what do you do with the children who are brought in here illegally? And should you give them immediate citizenship? And in my district, that's an absolute no. Mm-hmm. So that's where the president's countered us, say, let's have a immigration debate. Let's talk about the DACA issue, but also let's talk about border security. Let's talk about chain migration. And, let's talk about the lottery system. And I think when we turn our focus to let's have legislative issues on that, hopefully people will say, okay, this is really a good bill to keep the government open. Let's move forward.
Well, we're going to continue to watch it here, especially on 97.1, so people need to stay tuned as the developments happen, because there's stuff going on all the time. One thing that we're seeing quite a bit of, especially on social media and on the news as well, is this Release the Memo movement that we're seeing from a lot of folks who have seen this Nunes memo. What do you know about the memo?
Well, I viewed it tonight or this afternoon, and a couple things. One is that when you have a top secret memo, you have to make sure this movement to just release it, we have to make sure that it doesn't threaten our sources and identify the people and how we gathered information. So, I would just ask people to be cautious in that.
Mm-hmm.
But the memo itself, I think there is a legislative process by which eventually the Intel Committee then takes a vote, gives the jurisdiction is under Judiciary Committee. There is a time frame. It's laid out. It's never been done before. But I think that there is going to be a movement to cast the votes and give it to the president, let him make a decision, and then we can respond to that decision. It's about a 19 to 20-day process, which I support. So I think it'll be interesting, and most people really want a government that's transparent, as long as we don't threaten those people who are doing the hard work in gathering intelligence in the community.
So we have to be responsible with this information, but you are saying that you respect the people's right to know the information that is important for them to know here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a very big memo. It's about 5 pages. It depends on how fast, and you have to go back 5 to 7 minutes to read and kind of understand. We were able to ask some questions of staff, and I was there with a good friend of mine, so we went down there together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important for the public to understand what occurred.
So here's my question to you, and I only have a couple minutes here. When you read this memo, I'm reading things that it's absolutely shocking, and that this is the scandal of the century. Did you walk away like with your mouth kind of hanging open, going, "Wow, I'm shocked by what's in this memo"?
Yeah, and that kind of, I've heard some of those comments last night, and we had a meeting today, and I was sitting with another colleague who I respect, who had said they read it, and they just said, okay, we just need to be careful. I just didn't, when I read it, I just didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
And then some folks, because not all of us are lawyers and we understand the legal processes, or we don't understand the intricacies of FISA. And other folks would say, well, there's a line in there that's pretty damning.
Yeah.
So when I went in there, I was kind of looking for that line. I think it will. I think it'll wake Americans up. I think it'll disappoint Americans, and it's disappointing. But I think it'll make us better and stronger in the future if we air the information.
That's good information to hear from you. I feel like you're an even-keeled, non-sensationalist representative that we can rely on to have a good even candor about it. Do you think that this is something that we're going to get coverage from on the mainstream media? Do you think that we're going to see all news networks covering this in that capacity, or is it going to be as polarized as every other piece of information?
My guess is that it will not be given I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. My guess is that it won't be viewed as an issue in the past, and we ought to move on, and that's the way they'll treat it.
Just like President Trump, right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out when this happens. Did you say that 20-day time frame is from point A, it will be 20 days out before it could possibly be released, or is there?
Yeah. Well, we're supposedly not here next week, or this. We're getting close to next week, so I'm not sure. And I think once the Intel Committee casts a vote, then there's a 20-day window from there. Now, in that window is if we vote on the floor, then it goes to the president. He decides if he thinks it's okay enough to release.
Mm-hmm.
If he says no, then there's a chance to, in essence, kind of override the decision. So there is a process. I think the American public understand there is a process in place that's been, laid out in our procedures, and we'll follow that procedure. They can't ask us to do something outside of the rules that we've, developed for ourselves in dealing with this.
Yeah. Well, Congressman John Shimkus, thanks for your time. You're a busy man, and you are a representative who is working on a Saturday overtime. We appreciate your work there and your time here on our show.
You're welcome. It's 24/7 when you're elected representative, and this is just part of the job.
All right. Congressman John Shimkus from the 15th District in Illinois. Appreciate his time there. So there you have it. This memo, I don't really generally hear Congressman Shimkus talk about things and think he's the one who's throwing the gasoline on the fire to try to get the sensationalism up. He seems pretty convinced that there's something there that's going to disappoint the American people. The question I have is, are we so divided as an American people that what disappoints some of us will make others proud? I don't know, because I don't know what the information is. Neither do you. We'll wait and see. There's nothing wrong with waiting to see what the actual truth is. Because remember, the truth is the truth. We don't get to have our own truths because truth is truth. But we can have opinions on that truth, and that's what we do here on the Annie Frey Show. Check out our podcast at iTunes and Stitcher, 971talk.com/Annie, at Annie Frey Show on Twitter. Talk to you next week.
After a record-breaking year at Diamonds Direct, we just want to say thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust. It's never something we take for granted, and we pledge to work even harder in the new year to exceed your expectations. And for 2018 at Diamonds Direct, we're expanding our selection once again with an even larger inventory of hand-picked diamonds. These are precious 100% natural stones created literally billions of years ago deep in the center of the earth. Real, rare diamonds with lasting and proven value, offered at the guaranteed best price in America. Plus, we've expanded our selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, the latest fashion-forward pieces you won't find anywhere else. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a special anniversary this year, come let us share our passion for diamonds. Let us show you how to identify real value, and let us help you make the most of this remarkable moment in your life. Diamonds Direct, offering the unique blend of uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Come discover the remarkable combination for yourself at Olive and 270 at City Place.
If you desire a more productive, stable community, invest in St. Patrick's Center. If you want vibrant neighborhoods with people who are living and not just existing, donate to St. Patrick's Center. People come to us broken, we give them hope. They need a new start, we help them improve their lives. We're instruments of change. Join us. Invest in St. Patrick's Center, where people are transformed, where homelessness ends. To donate, visit stpatrickcenter.org or call 314-802-0700.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-333-1750. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
Hey, Allman here for Aphrodite Granite